KCP, also known as Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, signed with the Orlando Magic earlier today for a 3-year, $66 million deal. This was a huge blow for the Denver Nuggets. I have always liked KCP's game. To me, he's definitely what I would call an elite role player. He's one of those guys that you definitely need if you're going to win a championship. He's just that crucial. He's like that plug-in piece, kind of like a Bruce Bowen type, or Trevor Ariza on those Laker championship teams, or even to some degree Andre Iguodala type, without the great playmaking, obviously. Just you always need those type of guys when contending for a title. I look at the Nuggets now, and it's just a huge shot. It's a huge blow to their team just when you look at the roster makeup. The Nuggets only have 4 legit NBA players really in my eyes on that roster. The obvious guys: Nikola Jokic, Jamal Murray, Michael Porter, Aaron Gordon. I guess you can argue Christian Braun is a legit NBA player to some degree, but his offensive game to me is garbage. This kid can't shoot. He's a terrible shooter. He's a great hustle player. He has great athletic ability, but he just can't shoot, which is a liability when it matters during playoffs, because you have to hit those open shots, especially if you're a role player. Now you just look at the Nuggets and you're just like, this team has so many holes that over the last 2 years they've lost three solid role players from their depths. Last year they lost Bruce Brown and Jeff Green. This year they lost KCP. That's 3 guys. So if you look at it last year when they won their title, they weren't a really deep team, but they had enough. They had enough to win it all. Now they definitely don't have enough at all. They're at a deficit when it comes to their depth. They have to find a way to add 3 to 4 solid players that could just be solid role players. Right now, when I look at this team, they don't have it. They just don't have solid role players to surround their core of those 4 guys I mentioned, which is going to affect them. I think the way they're currently constructed, can they still be a top 4 team in the West? Yes, you can ride Nikola Jokic, and he can get you 50 wins, somewhere in that range. I don't think they can be the best team in the West because they don't have enough depth, but the way they're constructed right now, at best, they're just a second-round team. They just don't have enough. It's really on the onus of the Nuggets front office to step up to the plate now, make some big moves. I felt Calvin Booth, the GM of the Nuggets, this guy inherited a good team by their original GM who constructed it, Tim Conley. So he has to start making some big-time moves, some boss moves, as they say. This guy needs to step up to the plate. Nuggets ownership has to decide, do they want to really spend more money to win possibly another championship, or are they just fine with being a playoff contender every year? I think that's something we'll find out very soon, but this is a big blow. Like this is huge. I don't know how the Nuggets are going to bounce back. I think if they don't upgrade their roster, they're going to have a challenging season ahead. Sure, they can get away with riding Jokic and Jamal Murray, but I just think that's going to backfire in the playoffs like it did this year. Like those guys had to be on God mode, literally, for them to win games in this year's playoffs. So you can't really put yourself in that position again next year, but that's what they're putting themselves in. Also, you got to worry about Jamal Murray getting hurt again because there's no depth. He's going to be overplayed. That can result in nagging injuries again, such as a calf injury and hamstring injury. Those things happen when you're overexerting yourself. That's going to be a huge issue for them going forward. But I have nothing else to say other than the Nuggets are in trouble right now. This is what you call emergency, and they need to act right now to fix their roster.